This is Lorenzo, and this is the Training Routines Taxonomy video series. If you're watching this, then this means you've already watched the Training Map Taxonomy video series. Welcome. In this series, we are going to explore or review the body's 9 dimensions. We're going to look at the 3 different exercise types: hint, mobility, stability, and power. We're also going to explore the 3 different program elements. Every effective training plan needs an objective, a strategy, and tactics, and they all have to line up. And then finally, and what this whole training series is about, is exploring the 16 different training routines, 5 lower body, 4 core, and 7 upper body customizable templates that you can scale at whatever level you're at to help you achieve the 30 fitness benchmarks that we discussed in the Training Map Taxonomy video series. All right, so the purpose of this video is to introduce to you the 9 different and independent facets you need to understand in order to interpret and get the most out of this taxonomy. The mandate for this taxonomy is the following. It is simply to help you learn how to match the right routine and exercise protocol with the right fitness goal. So for example, let's say your goal was to develop stronger, better looking 6-pack abs, as we all do. The first question you want to ask yourself is, which domain does this belong to? Is it going to be the lower body, core, upper body? If you said core, you would be correct. Next, we want to know which dimension does it belong to? Posterior chain, lateral chain, anterior chain, because they all are core dimensions. If you said anterior chain, the front of the body, you would be correct. Next, you want to know which skill are you focused on. We know that there's no fitness benefit or aesthetic goal that you can uncouple from a specific functional ability. So what is the dimensional skill that you want? If I can spell it. The dimensional skill you're after if you want abs is known as compression strength. And we saw from the last series that in order for you to master compression strength, you need to focus on at least 3 benchmarks. So they are the pike fold, hamstring mobility. Then we had the L or the V-sit for core stability. Then we put it all together into a strength exercise, the hanging straight leg raise. So if you want abs, you need to focus on unlocking your hanging straight leg raise, which by definition is going to be a gymnastics specific modality routine. Finally, selecting the right exercise protocol then is so much easier, because if we know what the true objective is, in this case, developing stronger, better looking abs by focusing on compression strength, then we know our exercise protocol must include some degree of mobility, stability, and strength work, specifically focused on our hanging straight leg raise, our V-sit or L-sit, and our pike fold. Now, that was just one example, but if we want to apply a similar logic to all of our other fitness goals, and remember there's 30 benchmarks that we want to make progress towards, we need to have intimate knowledge of 9 independent facets, see how they all relate to each other if we are going to create the most effective exercise routines for ourselves. For our first 3 facets, you should already be familiar with them, but they are the body's 9 dimensions, which we group into 3 domains: the body's 2 hip planes, 3 core chains, and 4 pull press vectors. Next, we have 3 exercise type domains. All exercises, no matter how they are practiced, can be classified into one of 3 domains. They are mobility hybrid holds, stability static holds, and power dynamic reps. Specifically, we're going to explore the 4 different types of dynamic, static, contract, relax, mobility holds, the 6 different types of straight arm, bent arm, open hip, closed hip, straight leg, bent leg, static holds. And finally, we're going to learn the 5 different types of stationary and locomotive based power exercises. Putting these 6 facets together, We then get dimensional exercise types. For example, we can have a hip power exercise, core stability exercise, a pulling or shoulder mobility exercise, or a hip stability exercise. Putting it all together, we will then look at the 3 specific program elements that make up all training routines, training plans, and exercise protocols. In this taxonomy series, we're going to explore all the various ways in which we can think about coming up with different routines. We talk about what are known as tracks versus complexes. Very important. We also will look at the difference between split versus total body routines. For example, a split routine would mean we focus on only one dimension at a time. And a total body routine means for us that you are focusing on 2 or more dimensions at a time. For example, lower body and upper body, and core and upper body dimensions. Also, we can think of them in terms of gymnastics routines. There are 10 in the series. Weightlifting routines, 3 in the series we will explore, and 3 metabolic conditioning routines. Secondly, we're going to look at the 3 components that make up an effective exercise program. Never ever embark on an exercise program again if it doesn't have clearly stated objectives, a strategy that actually matches those objectives, as well as the correct tactics that are informed by that strategy. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, you will learn what is known as our 3-part MSP, or Mobility, Stability, Power-based protocol that has 5 exercises for every routine, 2 mobility, 2 stability, and 1 strength, speed, or endurance-based exercise for every routine to ensure that you make meaningful progress and eventually achieve all 30 fitness benchmarks that we discussed in the Training Map Taxonomy video series.